With homeschool being rapidly on the rise in the US, I thought today it would be a great opportunity to share why we choose to use a flexible homeschool routine. Now, I specifically chose the word routine instead of schedule because schedules stress us out. I think as homeschool families and even non-homeschool families, we have enough stress as it is. I am the type of person that when I pick something, I like to stick to it. So if I get off of a schedule, it stresses me out and gives me a little bit of anxiety. So a routine works for our family the best. So a flexible one, we still have a routine, but there's give and there's grace in it. Now, over the years, it's been shifted and it's changed a little bit. But that's how I have learned that a flexible routine is key and we need it. Look, there's jobs, there's people running businesses, there's homeschool, multiple ages, there's sports, there's extracurricular activities, there's music lessons, there's dance lessons, there's singing, there's what is the word I'm thinking of? Arts and crafts, there's field trips, there's friend play dates, there's family time. There is so much. As someone living in the US, we are constantly on a go schedule that we need some flexibility, right? That is part of the reason we chose to homeschool, isn't it? Right? To be in control of our schedule, to be in control of what our kids are learning and who they're around, and to make sure that maybe it's safety for you. But there is flexibility in homeschool. And here's why you should do it. You should do it because, well, one, there's grace. Two, you still have a routine. There is a guideline. There is something that you follow. But if you get off, your day's not ruined if you're off track. If you need to switch it up, your whole week or your whole day is not affected by it. Three, well, because sometimes things come up. Kids get sick. Maybe they need to go to a haircut. Maybe they need to go to a dentist appointment. Well, a flexible schedule allows time for those things to beautifully happen when they need to without your schedule just kind of being need to throw in the trash because it's not going to work. Four, because sometimes we all just need rest, right? A flexible schedule, okay, we don't do school on Fridays anymore. We leave them for field trips, for learning. And sometimes if we don't have a field trip, we just relax. Maybe one day we'll use it as a catch-up day. But other than that flexible Friday of no school, maybe we'll just read a book. Maybe we'll just go outside and do science. Maybe we'll just snuggle up on the sofa and watch a movie together. So flexibility allows opportunity for little moments to happen naturally that are not planned, and sometimes those are the best. You know what? Maybe we should just all go out and get a hot chocolate and a little snack down the road at the pastry shop. Maybe we just all go out for a spur of the moment lunch together with mom. You never know. That one is a lot harder to do with lots of little kids, but it can be done. And number 5, the reason that I think a flexible schedule is awesome and beneficial and would benefit you to have is, well, why not? I can't think of a reason why not to have a flexible schedule. If you don't have a flexible schedule, inevitably something will go wrong, right? I am a very type A person. When I first started my homeschool journey, I did not have a flexible schedule. So I am not casting stones at you if this is something that you don't do. But I did not. I had a typed up, color-coded schedule with block times. This is the time we're doing this. This is the time we're doing this. This is the time that we're taking a break. This is how long. And when we didn't get a subject done in that time and we started overflowing into a different time block, I felt rushed. I felt anxious. I felt frustrated. And that made the homeschool not go well. It caused temper tantrums, and it bled over into my kids being frustrated and not getting things correct and not having a joyful heart. Also created mom, teacher to not be joyful, not to be fun to be around, because I wanted to stick to my schedule. So the fifth reason really would be is to make sure that there is love and connection in your homeschool day. That's mainly why I would encourage you to use this. Maybe your schedule isn't allowing you to feel relaxed and calm, and maybe you're missing opportunities. And so if that's you, maybe this is your call to switch up, have a flexible schedule. Maybe don't do school on Fridays. Maybe have bigger block time periods to get things done. Maybe just ditch the block time periods, and however long the math lesson takes, it takes. Or if your language arts is going really long and you're frustrated or your kid's frustrated, end on a positive note. Sometimes I say, okay, the next problem that we get right, we're done. We're stopping. We're going to end on a correct problem that we got right so that we feel good and encouraged. And we're not going to struggle through the rest of the lesson, especially if it's repeated material. Maybe it's just extra practice. Maybe we just need a break, a brain break. Maybe we need to stop more often in our flexible schedule and have some protein snacks to get our brain back on track. My kindergartner loves dance breaks in between math and language arts. Those two harder subjects, they take a little bit of concentration and focus. We need dance breaks. My schedule when I first started as a homeschool mom did not include dance breaks in my schedule. So I have learned, I have grown through this. There is grace in homeschool, which is why we love this. I think each year we grow, right, as homeschool parents, and we say, okay, maybe this curriculum didn't work. Maybe this didn't work this year. Maybe this worked great. So as we grow and as we have more years under our belt, and this is our 7th year as a homeschool family, we can adjust. And we've learned that being a tight, strict schedule, maybe that works for me in some areas, and maybe that doesn't work for my kids, doesn't work for my husband. So my kids are half me and half him. So I also have to understand that, while sometimes, yes, we have to be out the door at a certain time to make it to a certain place, right? We still have schedules that sometimes we have to follow. Our homeschool day does have grace and flexibility in it, and our homeschool year has grace and flexibility in it. When we do our year-round school planning, I buffer in extra weeks. So if we are sick and we get off track, our schedule is flexible for the year because we have wiggle room weeks that I had already buffered, and it helps to keep a non-rushed, flustered, frustrated feeling as the parent, as the mom, as the dad, whoever it is that is doing it, as grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, whoever it is. So flexibility definitely is good for your scheduling of your school year, scheduling if your lesson plans. Maybe this year, instead of writing the exact lesson number each day when you do your lesson planning, you don't do that. You just say, okay, we have 120 lessons. I want to get this done in 32 weeks. That's roughly, 4 lessons a week, whatever that math is. I'm bad at math. I'm not saying that that's an accurate math, just an example. So maybe you just do it that way and you say, okay, we'll do 4 lessons a week, and on the good weeks, maybe we'll throw in a 5 so that when we have a sick week, we're not actually 4 lessons behind. Maybe we're only 2 lessons behind because we caught up for 2 weeks doing an extra lesson. So there's flexibility in that as well. There's also flexibility in saying no. FOMO is real. Nobody wants to miss out on fun things. Being a homeschooler, there is a little extra pressure to make sure your kids are socialized with that stigma by it. And I know I sure fell in that trap. And I was saying yes to everything. Every extracurricular thing. I was saying yes to every play date, everything to make sure my kids were being fully socialized to the highest extent possible. And I got burnt out, mamas. I got burnt out quick. I've had to learn to maybe say no to some things. On top of our traveling in between there. So sometimes we have to just say no, and that's okay. And that creates flexibility too, right? It's not flexible when you're saying yes to everything. And it's also maybe not in the best interest or health of your family. So flexibility is knowing that it is okay maybe to pass on some things that you need to, and that's okay. So I'm sure that in everybody's homeschool situation, they are somewhat flexible, probably more than you even realize you are. Maybe it's in your meals. We're flexible. We have a rotating menu. During the school year, I have done a video on that, so you can check that out of our weekly. We have a 4-week meal rotation chart that we follow, and I love it. It is so easy. There's about once a week to once every 2 weeks, there's a flexible day. Maybe it's we're going out to eat. Maybe it's our oldest is going to cook and she gets to decide. Maybe it's a unplanned day. We'll see if we have leftovers, or we'll just do it on a whim. We'll figure it out. So there are flexible days even in our lunch menus, because I've realized sometimes if you over plan, food goes to waste because that's not being eaten because an opportunity's come up and now you're going to be out of the house that day during that time. So flexibility is, I guess, somewhat everywhere, probably more than we realize it. So I highly encourage you to use a flexible homeschool routine. Is definitely what we do. No more block times for us. No more color coded Excel spreadsheet charts that we need to schedule and make sure that we're staying on top of. No more 5 days a week. No matter what, we're getting lessons done. We're doing 4 days a week. And I enjoy school more. I see my kids smiling more because there is flexibility and mom's not as stressed out. So for me and my personality and the happiness in the home, I am thankful for the flexible routine. And I'm not sure I would want to go back to a non-flexible routine. I still like my routine. I still stick to my routine 9 out of 10 times. But again, that's the difference between a routine and a schedule. And even in my routine, we have built in flexibility for sick days, for fun, for meals, for family time, for spur of the moment trips or vacations. We have flexibility in our routines, and highly encourage and recommend you mamas out there to try it. And I would love to know, which one are you? Are you a schedule or a routine? And do you tend to be a little bit more laid back and flexible, go with the flow? Or do you really are driven with a schedule and you're not super flexible? It really bothers you, or maybe it bothers your kids when you're off of a schedule. So I would love to know what you use and what type of personality you tend to lean towards when it comes to scheduling and keeping up with all the homeschool mom duties out there, because the laundry list is never ending. So I look forward to hearing that from you guys, and thanks for watching. Bye.